Hi my friends, how are you? I hope everybody is fine. My name is Daniel Villarino. Welcome to my YouTube channel. A couple of years ago, a little more, I uploaded a few videos in which I show how to make some bottle stoppers. And this is an example of one of those bottle stoppers. You can see it here. This is red heart, and the bottom part is stainless steel, and it has this rubber part that is the one that makes the seal when you put it on the top of the bottle. I have another one here that you can see is very similar. It has a tear shape like this one, teardrop shape. The only thing is that it's kind of smaller. Then I have this other one that I made with myrtle wood, and this one is with natural edge. The shape is conical instead of the teardrop, but it also has the rubber part that makes the seal. I use a bottle, has the base for a candle holder, and the top, which is the bottle stopper, is the candle holder itself. You put the candle there, okay? But the system is very interesting because you use a dowel, a maple dowel, that then you cover with this rubber sleeve or silicone sleeve that is the one that makes the seal. And the dowel is also introduced in the blank so that it's glued there and then allows you to turn the top of the bottle stopper. I don't have one here, but there are similar systems in which the sleeve, instead of being silicone or rubber, is cork. And one of the things is that many times to make these projects we have to buy and get the accessories and the hardware to work it out. But what if we don't have access to those accessories, or we want to do it with materials that we can easily get in our homes? So with my wife, with Paula, we have collected through the years many corks from bottles of wine, and I got one of them that you can see here, and you can see that I made a perforation there. This one is 12 millimeters, and also I made a conical shape because when you take the cork out, typically it will not fit back in the bottle easily because it kind of spans a little bit, and we don't want to have a bottle stopper that is too tight. We want it to go in easily and out easy enough, so you can very easily sand the cork to give it the shape, and this has a conical shape, and that will form part of the bottom part of our bottle stopper. Now, to do this, I use my easy chuck, and I have these pins that are long and small diameter. I can put the cork there, hold it, make the perforation. The cork actually is easily perforated with a drill, and after that I remove it a little bit so that I could sand this part to give it the conical shape. Now, if you don't have a chuck, there are ways to do this by using a piece of wood in which you make a hole that will fit this very snugly there, and that will hold this, and then you make the perforation on the lathe. And also, to give it the conical shape, once it is perforated, you can make a dowel of this size, pass this through the dowel, and then use sandpaper to shape it. And I have here a piece of oak that will be the one I will use for making those dowels. Okay. Now, the idea then is to make a bottle stopper using materials that we can easily get at home. That's today's project. I hope you enjoy it. Let's get to work. I mount the dry pine blank between centers and I threw it up. Using as a model my spur driving center, I mark the separation between the largest and the smallest diameters of the Morse taper number 2. The thinnest part of the taper has about 15.2 millimeters in diameter. I fixed that measure in the caliper, and with the parting tool I will reduce the diameter towards the outside of the distance I just draw on the cylinder. The measure in the other extreme has to be 17.6 millimeters. Now I fix that measure in the caliper, and again I use the parting tool towards the outside of the mark to reduce the diameter to 17.6 millimeters. Now it is just a question of connecting both points with a straight line to form the taper, and I do so using the skew chisel and moving the tool rest so that its direction is parallel to the cut that I have to do. I use a straight edge to verify that I do not have curves or bits. Our Morse taper number 2 in pine is ready. Here I compare it to our original model. I remove the step center from the headstock. I put in the axis the homemade Morse taper number 2, giving it a few taps to secure it in place. The diameter in the widest part of the cork is about 21 millimeters. I have a Forstner bit of 3/4 of an inch, or about 19 millimeters, and another of 7/8 of an inch, or about 22 millimeters. So I need to find a solution. I drill a 3/4 of an inch hole to a depth of about 3/4 of the cork length. Now I make a perforation of 7/8 of an inch, just 10 millimeters deep. The small step indicated by the arrow will be my reference to widen the 3/4 of an inch perforation without reaching the 7/8 of an inch one, and so find the right fit for the cork diameter. It fits better than I hope. Only remains to remove the small part of the 7/8 of an inch perforation. I do not even need to make the cuts for the collet. With the jump fit, it will be enough to perforate the corks. It is ready, our homemade jump chuck with Morse taper. We can now use a 12mm drill to perforate a bunch of corks. Oh, yes, since we are talking about the stoppers and wine and so on, if you drink, do not turn, and if you turn, do not drink, but still, I can use salon music. Cannot I? The cork truly can be nicely perforated this way. I have been using a 12mm bit because I thought the size was adequate, but you can use any bit that you have at hand as long as it is not too thin or not too thick. Too thin and the dowels are going to be too weak, and too thick and we will not have enough cork wall thickness. Most corks are pretty standard size, but if you have a bunch of different sizes, we can group them and make jump chucks for each size. After all, the pine is easily accessible and cheap, and it did not take more than 15 minutes. I think I have more than enough to get busy, since each cork should be enough for a couple of bottle stoppers. After removing the Morse taper, we can see that it is evenly marked, which indicates that we have achieved a nice fit. We place between centers a small oak plank that we will true up to a diameter of 12mm. I see that the dowel fits in the cork, but it is too tight. I will sand the oak dowel a bit to have a fit that is tight but not that much. Now we are talking. A sandpaper 60 or 80 grit will rough down the cork easily to its approximate shape. After that, we will use finer grits to refine the shape and to smooth the cork surface. I keep trying until I get a closure that is tight but not in excess. Carefully, with the point of the skew chisel, I cut the cork in two halves. I place one of the halves with the widest part towards the stream to facilitate the sanding. In this close-up, filmed in real time, you can appreciate how fast the sandpaper shapes the cork. I will go pretty fast showing the making of the bottle stopper, but the most important thing in this particular case it is that it is a hardwood, olive, and I have enough length, so I will make a 12 mm dowel in one stream of the blank. My apologies about the blur, it's going to be short. I remove the blank from in between centers. I remove the spur center. I place in the headstock a Jacob's chuck, and with it I will hold the blank from the tenon that later will be used to glue the cork. I sand through the grids up to 600. From there I will use abrasive paste and to finish friction polish. I use thick CA glue to attach the cork to the wood, but I could have easily used carpenter's wood glue. I place a sanding disc in the Jacob's chuck and with it I sand the bottle stopper tip to finish it. For a piece of exotic wood like this ebony, or if we do not have too much material, we can make a 12 mm perforation, gluing a 12 mm oak or maple dowel, and from there the process is the same. Okay, my friends, I have finished the bottle stopper. You can see it here. It's made with olive wood. This is a piece of olive that was brought to me by my father-in-law from Peru. Thank you, Carlos. Beautiful wood. It's finished with abrasive paste and friction polish. And in the bottom you can see there the mechanism of the bottle stopper made with a recycled cork. The tenon, actually the dowel, it was not necessary in this case to make the perforation in the blank and glue it inside, because I used the same blank to reduce the size and form the dowel there. So this is a whole piece. This part here that you see is part of the olive wood. But in cases of woods that are expensive or you don't have too much material, it's easy to make a perforation in the blank and then introduce a dowel there, glue it, cut it, and then put the cork on the other side. So a very nice project made with materials that we could find in our homes. I made this Morse taper jump chuck to put the corks inside over there, and it worked really well. Normally they recommend do this with hardwoods. I had this piece of pine and it worked perfectly well. You have to make the perforation of the size of the cork. Most of the corks are pretty standard, but you may need to do different Morse tapers and jump chucks for different sizes of cork if you have a variation. In any case, this worked pretty well, and also it worked really nice, the piece of oak that I put between centers, and then I use it to place there the corks and give them the shape as well as cut them. So all in all, very easy project. I hope you enjoy it. And now, if you allow me, I will put there some pictures that were sent by the subscribers of the channel. Carlos from Saravena, Arauca, Colombia, sent me these pictures of a bowl he made in Pardillo, finished with beeswax. Beautiful work, Carlos. And here you can see several pictures of the homemade bottle stopper and the corks. Okay, I hope you enjoy these pictures. I also hope you enjoy the video. If that's the case, please mark the like button down there, make comments, and if you haven't subscribed yet to my channel, please do so. And it will be until the next one. Cheers!